charity events around town, and also possibly the Snooper Bowl, which brings together California and Arizona youth football teams to compete.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, maybe even an impromptu concert or two, which would be nice. And of course, Snoop Dogg live in attendance at the Arizona Bowl as he's hosting Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice Arizona Bowl.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah, it's going to smell sticky icky in Tucson. Of course, that's pretty much all the comments, too, that you see on social media. And that's what I thought, too. I was like, damn. Hey, the Arizona Bowl has a whole new meaning. You got to pack that Arizona Bowl. You got to light that Arizona Bowl. You got to smoke that Arizona Bowl.
I'm waiting for the new logo now. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Well, they got a logo and they used AI and
a giant weed bowl.
No, I know. Well, it's still college athletics and stuff, and they're not as degenerate.
Testing.
Yeah, they're not as degenerate as you and I, my friend.
Damn.
I know, but it's okay. You know what? Then I always give you an impromptu task, each and every appearance that you make on this show. How about this, my friend?
Hey, man, you want some more work to do?
Yeah, exactly. So by the time the podcast broadcast comes, do you think you have the ability to do like a mock-up logo of a new Arizona Bowl logo that they could potentially use? I could show it to Kim Adair when she pops in on the show tomorrow to talk about it. And then maybe your proposed weed-friendly Arizona Bowl logo will be the official of Arizona Bowl logo moving forward.
The goal by 10 a.m. is to get a text from Snoop.
Yes.
Okay.
It might not happen
Fair
today.
enough.
The text might not happen today.
Okay.
But by Thursday, to get a yay or nay, a pass or a hit, if you will. That's what I'm gonna do, because I can propose that logo to one of the chair people. Actually, I know them both very, very well, right? So
exciting.
Yeah, it's not like any of this work would go unnoticed. I could literally send it right to the top and be like, Arizona. See, now the pitch is
they say no immediately.
Well,
as you go, No,
but then I would say no, but you understand the pitch is Snoop Dogg smokes weed, and then bowls of weed and Arizona Bowl, it just writes itself. See?
They're going to be like, his branding has evolved. He's become more mature. He's not doing the weed thing anymore. He's doing gin and juice, beef.
You're right. Yeah, he got into the hard seltzer game.
Yeah,
which like a responsible gangster, which I get it. And Dr. Dre's associated with that as well. So I'm like, well, is Dre going to show up for the Arizona Bowl? Short answer, no. Unless we come up with a dope ass logo that makes the Arizona Bowl look marijuana friendly that you could smoke, with a side of gin and juice because your mouth gets dry.
There we go.
See, I mean, as long as I do this pitch aggressively in a friendly manner, but end every sentence with I really feel like at least we'll have a fighting chance.
What about a Snoop EG? What would you put inside of a Snoop Dogg EG?
Well, gin. Right?
Just mix it with the gin?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
An EG is essentially frozen juice. So I'm sure plenty of Tucson locals growing up have had their own EG gin and juice for sure. 100%.
Good point.
Yeah, and they got their favorite flavors as well. So that was the big news trending worldwide. And congratulations yet again to Arizona Bowl. I'm happy for you guys.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. All right, we got a great show lined up for you today. So much to cover. So let's get right into the music. You got your morning moron coming up after Jelly Roll. We'll kick things off with a little Pop Evil on this Tuesday morning. See, it's a bowl. So you smoke it like a bowl and put some cereal in a bowl. You get it.
Come on.
All right, that was our show open today. Welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the delay on the live stream on YouTube. For whatever reason, that I had to manually get that going, but we were live on our Facebook pages and Twitch and in Twitter as well.
Trying to cover all the bases.
Yeah. Maybe I spread us a little too thin, but I did post those pictures of Rico's reimagination of what the official logo should be on our Instagram and Facebook pages, already taken off like wildfire, which is fantastic. I'm going to show that here in just a second as we get on the air. And we have a lot that we're going to cover today. There's a fantastic 5-star review that Rico did about Filibertos. That's mind-blowingly awesome. Also, the internet's world's most boring man. So people have been using this video that this man shot in the 80s as something to fall asleep to.
Oh, wow.
Because he's that boring. So we're going to see if we can keep our eyes open while watching this.
It's like watching Bob Ross and that guy, and you're just like, I'm out.
Yeah, and then plus we also fell in love with a woman today that goes by the handle Mississippi Mima.
I love her.
Yeah, she is pretty funny. You'll be able to see her. It's Rock 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. As promised, we were going to reveal to you what is the unofficial, and we have to stress that for legal purposes, the unofficial Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl logo. Now, I know it's unofficial officially because I pitched it to the founder of the Arizona Bowl, and he shot it down so viscerously.
His veins were popping.
Yeah, it was an immediate no. And I kept saying, like, just hear me out, and it was a no before he even saw it. Then he saw it, and then he switched it from a no to a, oh, hell no. Here is the logo that you're going to see on the podcast broadcast stream, youtube.com/bevegan. Ta-da! That is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice, which is Dre and Snoop's sparkling hard seltzer. This is the new imagination of the logo. So all my streamers, let us know what you think. And if you're not streaming, if you can't see this logo, you can go to any of our social media pages, because right now we posted it. Share it while you still can. I have a feeling I do have a feeling lawyers will get involved and make us take down these logos pretty soon. So you got a short amount of time to be able to enjoy what is essentially a work of art. But if I was going to verbally describe it, you got Snoop Dogg, you got a stoned out dog cactus with Arizona Stadium packed to the brim with all of your favorite buds. Yeah. Faux shizzle. So keep those comments coming, and make sure you like and share our logos and attempt at that on our social media pages. Coming up next,
tweet Snoop.
Yeah, tweet Snoop.
Tweet him.
Snoop's gonna see this logo. That's the goal. Snoop will see this, and if we get a no, I want no's all the way from the bottom up. I want the top dog to give us a hard no.
I want him to call me at 4 a.m.
4:20.
Hey man,
take that damn sin down.
Just do it. Get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can join us on our YouTube stream, youtube.com/beefvegan, or on Facebook at Rock 2.1 KFMA. The world's most boring man coming up after dinosaur pile up. Here's Backfoot on Rock 2.1 KFMA. Getting a little raspy today. Here, let's see it again. All right, but this is only the beginning, because then Rico went crazy with all the different Snoop
went in the paint
stuff. So I'll show you all those, and this is so good, and it's so funny too, because when I pitched these to Rico, he's like, "Oh man." And then he goes,
I'm like, all right, I'm in the zone.
Yeah, and then he doesn't stop, right? So I'm like, hey, can you come up with one logo? He's like, son of a bitch. Okay,
all right, Dad.
I guess I'm working, whatever. And then he's like, here's 17. I'm like, whoa, dude, I didn't.
He's like, are you done yet? I'm like, don't bother me, I'm working.
Yeah, so here's some other ones that didn't necessarily make the cut, but are being shared as well. Snoop Dogg Red Dead Redemption style.
Poster art.
Yeah, this is great poster art. And this actually isn't Red Dead Redemption. There is one that reminds me of this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's straight up out of the game.
It should be a downloadable content for sure.
Absolutely. Rockstar's looking at this like, why didn't we think about having a Snoop Dogg downloadable? This one again.
Yep.
More Red Dead Redemption. So yeah.
You can tell I'm a fan.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just
one more job, Snoop. Just one more job.
Some that were shared. It's fantastic. And I love it. So excellent job. Rico.
Snoop-a-loop, thank you.
And we already getting like blown up as far as tons of great comments on both Facebook and
I was gonna say, let's enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah.
Like 2 hours from now, like take it down.
I know.
You can't stop this train.
Yeah.
No.
See, Randall Smith, we have this coming up here with the world's most boring man. There it is, the world's most boring video.
Am I excited about the man's most boring? World's most boring thing.
Yeah, so I'll give you the rundown of this here when we get on the air. But they're dubbing this the most boring video ever made, and it's become a viral sensation, which is such a trip because this was released in the 80s. I mean, the video opens up with a pulsing 1980s electro beat with a spinning floppy disk. Before it cuts into Smith, like seated at his desk. Now I have it queued up to a excruciatingly boring moment. But that you'll see. And as far as the video is concerned, 3.2 million views.
Whew.
Yeah. This came out in 1989.
How funny.
I know. So just
what an odd world we live in, where something so obscure and boring would just like usually fade into obscurity, and the internet's like, nope. pluck.
Yep, bringing it back.
Let's make it crazy.
Bringing it back. And yeah, you're like, what? Yeah. I mean, I know Randy Smith did not think, well, I mean, anything was going to go viral. Viral was not in the vernacular. All right. So let's get on the air and talk about that right after this. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA. When you go on YouTube, you're always going to find boring content. You know, it's actually a challenge to be exciting and release a bunch of exciting clips. And some people know this well, and it's a work of art for them, and they got it down to a science. And some people just upload things with the intent of it being exciting, and it ends up being boring. The video that I'm going to refer to and share with you on our podcast broadcast right now is neither. It was a video with the intent of instructing and informing people how to use Microsoft Word in 1989. All right. As odd as that sounds, over the last year, this video, which was uploaded to YouTube 10 years ago, just for the sake of just like historical documenting, with no other purpose than that, has found an audience. And that is an audience who uses this video to go to sleep to nightly because it's now dubbed the most boring video ever made. Yes. And the star of the most boring video ever made is a man named Randy Smith. Randy Smith is a Florida, engineer, computer engineer, who uploaded this tutorial, or actually he didn't upload it. An influencer uploaded it. The whole intent was just training, and so some influencer found this and was like, man, this is so bad. It's gold. And I want to share some of this video with you so you can understand what I'm talking about here. And we'll see how boring it is.
For a piece of property.
Let's listen.
Now let's just pretend right now that we've got the people standing there in front of us and we're over on our Macintosh and we're going to type out the rules to living in our property. So we sit down and we say, the following are the rules for living in my house. Number 1, I want you to keep your crummy dog off of my brand new carpet.
Ooh,
if
spicy.
you don't, I will shoot both you and your dumb dog.
This is a training.
Okay.
Yeah, like Randy. I mean, as boring as all
Sorry
the
about your
clicks.
wife, man. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, this is how you're teaching people how to use Microsoft Word back in the day. Yeah, you got to really grab their attention. And I am a little sleepy just hearing that sentence, but at the same time perplexed because I'm like, this guy's a full-blown dog murderer. That's insane. And it escalated quickly, and it continues.
So there.
And
then you go down to number 2. Okay, now a lot of you've had the opportunity of printing a document that needs something like this. You've used 1, 2, 3, or 4, some nesting, or you've used A, B, C, D, or a lot of you've used bullets. Now, realistically, when you typed your document, is this what you wanted it to look like? It isn't. What you wanted is you wanted the 1 and the 2 to line up nice and even, and then you wanted all your words to line up nice and straight. Now, let me just mention something to you here for a moment. A lot of you, when you started Microsoft Word, went in and tried to make this happen. And how did you make it happen? Well, most of you figured out, there's got to be a way to force that line over. So let me show you what a lot of you did. First thing that you did, you says, well, I know what I'll do. I'll just click in front of carpet here, and then I'll hit my space bar. Now, when you hit your space bar, and you may not be able to see my space bar right now, but it freezes up. Nothing happens. And you say, well, that's all right. What I'll do is hit my tab key. Now, when you hit your tab key, you get something like that. You say, well, that's not a problem either. What I'll do now is I'll just hit my backspace key.
Nope.
So when you hit your backspace key, then it goes right back to where it was. And about now is when people start getting frustrated.
Tell them.
So what I have found most people did to make this happen is you typed your first line of copy. You anticipated when your second line of copy was going to jump down on the next line.
Me.
You did a manual carriage return, and then you spaced it over one at a time and tried to line it up. Had a lady the other day tell me it took her 4 hours to do 2 pages, 1 through 10, trying to line it up. Now, you can do it that way if you'd like, but watch this. All you have to do is select your copy and go over and say, okay, I want my words to line up there, and I would like my numbers to line up there, and you've got an automatic exactly what you wanted, which you will all find is extremely easy. Now, let me just mention, I did that kind of the long way just so that you could see how it worked. And that is I grabbed the whole margin and moved it over, and then I grabbed the left-hand margin and moved it back.
Kind of zoning out here. I
am
totally forgot what we were
loving this.
doing. Yes.
You said boring. I'm oddly intrigued.
I mean, it's still relevant information today. It does.
Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, I could do
that. Hold down your shift key. That will allow you to move the bottom independently.
Very good. Very good.
Hold down your shift key and you just grab it.
An hour and 47 minutes this goes.
I'm gonna go home and watch the whole thing today.
Yes. Well, if this is perfect for insomniacs, right? Because again, people have been utilizing this to fall asleep to, and so much so that they're now there's millions of views.
This guy was the OG buy my course guy.
Yeah.
Buy Randy's course, or he might come over and shoot your dog.
Yeah, he keeps going. I'm sorry, I'm learning from Randy here, Rico.
Advanced class. Two of the most dramatic you will see in the basics class, and one of them's coming right up, and that's when it comes to making tables. So I will show you both the old way and the new option for doing.
Wow, that's something I gotta do on my free time.
How much do you think his base pay was?
When they started off,
yeah,
it was probably a living wage in 1989, about $20,000.
He was like a wizard. He was like a one-of-a-kind dude you come across. Like you want to talk to the word guy? Yeah, this is the word guy.
He is a Florida man, so he was probably the guy that we were referring to in our last story. Who threw a cheeseburger at a cop. So oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I was really hoping he would get more unhinged as you went on. Like number 3, he's like, then you type in like, hey, please return my calls. I have a whole bucket of kerosene I want to use on your house.
If you don't respond to me immediately, I will shoot your dog. We're keeping the conversation moving on to podcast broadcast. Join us, youtube.com/bevegan. Coming up there, you'll see the exclusive video of man or bear. Rico answers that question for all because that's a debate that is going online where women ask themselves, who would they rather be alone in the woods with, a man or a bear? And the answers are wildly swinging both directions on the internet. But there's only one proper answer, and Rico found it, and we'll share that with you on the podcast broadcast. Well, excuse me. Join us, youtube.com/bevegan. Oh, Jesus. I got
burped your stomach up.
Yeah, no, it's a little phlegm. Oh, man love.
Also on that note with the whole the word 80s thing, that reminded me. I found the link. I sent it to you. There's a Windows 95 cast of Friends like tutorial. They talk about the internet and Windows. It's hilarious. Oh, it's like a throwback.
Yeah, no, I think we played this on the podcast for you. Yeah.
Oh
absolutely.
My God.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta love early
What's
90s
the deal with that?
Internet for sure. Well, while I get ready for Man versus Bear with Rico, earlier this morning, Rico did a 5-star review that was stellar. And it was Filibertos. And you would think, well, what can you tell us about Filibertos that we never heard before? Apparently, a lot. In case you missed it, it went a little something like this. Check it out. Beef Vegan presents. Welcome back to the show. It is now 7:14, and my good friend Rico, he likes to go out to different establishments all throughout the old Pueblo. And when he has a pleasurable experience, he immediately rushes to Google to leave a 5-star review
right away.
And that's what you got for us again this morning, right?
Correct.
All right, where did you go to this week, Rico?
Filibertos on 22nd Street.
Oh, the East Side Filibertos.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, tell me about your brave experience there.
Well, since it was just Cinco de Mayo, had to go off on that a little bit. They say that real Mexicans don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo. And seeing as how I'm half and don't speak Spanish, I disregarded that notion entirely to join my American brethren in celebrating something that perpetually keeps going and nobody cares to ask why. And if you do, you're a big old jerk.
Hell.
Because one of America's favorite things to do is have an excuse to perpetuate alcoholism and unhinged mayhem.
Facts.
So as long as it's under the guise of mandated remembrance. But I mean, they're not wrong. Cinco de Mayo is also falsely considered to be Mexico's Independence Day. However, Independence Day for Mexico is September 16th. Mexico's independence occurred more than 5 decades before Cinco de Mayo. But here's the thing. Cinco de Mayo is much more inclusive and fun to say for the big old mixing pot here. Aunt Pamela is not going to have fun trying to say Happy Dia de las Independencia, everyone. Hell, I can barely say it. America, first and foremost, is about marketing, branding, and business, not accuracy or historical integrity.
Right.
Cinco de Mayo generates beer sales on par with the Super Bowl. Once we get through our stupid, meaty skulls, the happier everyone will be. In a taco shell, on May 5th, 1862, General Ignacio Zaragoza ignited Mexican pride and unity when the poorly equipped Mexican army of 4,000 defeated the 8,000-strong Second French Empire at the Battle of Puebla after the Frenchies came to collect debts and use the opportunity to set up a macaron factory.
Wait, pause real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to remind the audience out there listening, and in case it's the first time they're listening, this is a review that you left on Google for Filibertos.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure everyone is on the same page. This is a real review.
Anyway, the Frenchies came to collect debts and used the opportunity to set up French toast factories. Many don't like to talk about the sequel where Mexico was defeated a year later, but then after the U.S. Civil War, America had a bag to flex. So they helped Mexico get rid of those baguette-toting horn dogs. This quick historical breakdown is important because it's the reason I decided to go back to an old friend for some greasy comida. Filiberto.
Yes.
I know many people are hurt by this since there are so many Mexican food empires here in the grand Sonoran city, but I spent many a college after hours at Senor Philly B's.
Yep.
This is nostalgia. This is pure appreciation for my own history. Standing in line at 3 a.m. with frat boys, strippers, and goth tattoo artists, waiting to get their fill after a night of one too many bottom shelf whiskey shots, mystery jello shots, and PBRs.
Oh, yes.
Everyone slurred attempted gratitude Spanish at the abuelita working the counter, and the drunk stumbling in red eyes gazing under flickering fluorescence as the loudspeaker from hell echoes over the brown tiles before the gluttonous drooly mouth gorging begins. The California burrito has always held a special place in my heart alongside the carne asada fries. Red-tinged grease rolling down everyone's chin as they drunkenly smile before realizing they ate too fast. And the next day would be the Battle of El Baño, which could potentially last days. Lots of bloodshed, lots of terror, lots of screams. One must prepare ahead of time for such things, but we did not. And we did it again and again. Some historians say that if we lost the first battle against the French, they may have joined up with the Confederate forces and the U.S. would be totally different. But I'm not here to talk about Mexican Marvel multiverse theories. I'm here to say I finally realized that carne asada fries, especially the ones here at Philly B's, are a hilarious violent slight at the French. It's like if France was Drake and Mexico was Kendrick.
Yes.
They took a thing called French fries and then cartoonishly drowned them with 25 pounds of carne asada, sour cream, guacamole, and cheese.
Yes.
It sends a message. It's like every time you order that styrofoam box of greasy Fat Boy Wonder, you're ordering a piece of history. A reminder that if you mess with Mexico, you might win eventually, but you'll be a lot fatter. And the heart disease will get you soon. Sacre bleu. Thank you, Filiberto, for still being there for me. You were there when I was peak hammered. You were there when I needed you for the hangover burrito and horchata. And you're still there standing like 4,000 brave soldiers refusing to give in to an army of 8,000 vegans. Viva la Mexico.
Slow clap. Wow. My God. You are, and without, it's not even like an overstatement. You are the Jack Kerouac of 5-star reviews. And to be able to put together that observation that what Filibertos have done to French fries as a big FU to France.
Yeah.
Goddamn brilliant. Oh my God.
It's the truth, baby.
That is a legitimate 5-star review that you can find on Google just by searching Filibertos on 22nd and Wilmot. If you come across that review, make sure you give it a 5-star review as well. My mind is blown. So good. All right, let's hit the reset. We come back. You can win up to $100 gift certificates to Catalina Craft Pizza. All right, so that was Rico's 5-star review. Is that not brilliant? The tying together of, Cinco de Mayo and Mexico basically like offending France in the best possible way by turning their delicacy into a carnivorous delight.
Yeah. Delicious revenge.
Poetic, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so I'm going to set up this man versus bear. As Rico's on fire today. Honestly, this whole show, it's been MVP
my bad.
by Rico. So we're going to set that up here. But earlier this morning, we met a woman who goes by the handle of Mississippi Mima. And she, like I said, in this video, she's not even 40 and she's already a Mima. My mom, when she became a grandmother, wanted to be called Mima. So she goes by Mima. And I'm like,
a very grandma. You have an image in your head when you hear Mima.
Yes, but it's also when you hear Mima, it's a very trailer trash type of name.
Mima.
And I'm like, God damn it, Mom. And and you get mad when I say I'm 3rd generation white trash. She literally got offended by that. And I'm like, okay, Mima. What the fuck? So anyways, this Mima obviously started young and she came across a delicacy that people in Mississippi apparently love. It's called pickled Dr. Pepper. and it sounds disgusting.
Dr. Pepper.
But check this out. Rock on 2.1 KFMA. You'll hear today probably, or come across on your social media, the question: will you have pickles in your Dr. Pepper? Would you try that? And the reason why, pickles in a Dr. Pepper is now a viral thing.
Oh no.
Yeah, and as gross as it may seem on paper, you might be wrong. It might actually taste good. And there was a woman who goes by the TikTok handle Mississippi Mima. And she's an internet celebrity. Instantly, I'm watching this clip and I'm just like, oh, I can see why she's racking up views left and right. First off, she looks like she's no older than like 39 years old. And if she's a Mima, which is a grandma, that Mississippi math checks out. You know, she's probably a great Mima by Mississippi standards. But she showed her followers that, you know, not only is pickles in a Dr. Pepper a real thing and delicious, but it's so common at the Sonic by her that people don't even flinch when they, like the people taking the order, don't even flinch when you try to give that order, right? I do have a video to share with you. You'll be able to hear this because her accent and everything is...
I was about to ask, like, I need to hear the voice.
You got to. You'll be able to hear and see. Mississippi Mima. Check this out.
Do y'all like pickles? Do y'all like Dr. Pepper? Come on with me, Ma, because me, Ma, finna show you something.
Mima, finna show you something.
The neighborhood Sonic. Let's see how long it takes them to.
All right, Mima.
Busy.
Sonic, this is man. Take your order, please.
Yes, ma'am. I need to get a large Dr. Pepper with pickles.
All right, we got a large Dr. Pepper with pickles. Now you're gonna see the cherries up there, ma'am. And that's going to be your pickles, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, my God.
Now, you notice, like, right off the bat, no hesitation. No, what? You want pickles and Dr. Pepper? Explain this to me.
Yeah.
Right? No. She's like, yes, ma'am. And then just so you know, this is how we do it here. When you order this pickles with Dr. Pepper, I'm going to put it in as like cherries because, you know, people in the western states, they put cherries in their soda. But here in Mississippi, we like pickles in our soda.
We're still waiting for the system to catch up, man.
Yeah, we're calling pop. You know, we're putting pickles in our pop. It's pickle pop with the Dr. Pepper pickle pop. Yeah, you get it.
I love the South.
You have a great day today. We have a total of 362.
Thank you. You too.
So polite.
Yes.
I'll be right back to show y'all. All right, I done put my straw in my cup, but let's see what it looks like. So this right here is a pickle Dr.
Oh my
Pepper.
God.
So it's Dr. Pepper
Wow.
with dill pickle slices in it. And don't knock it till you try it. If you like pickles and you like Dr. Pepper and you're probably like, ew, gross, I would never, ever drink that. But there's a lot of people that do drink this. Did you hear her the way she took my order?
Yep.
I'm not the only person that's ever ordered this, babe.
Mississippi Mima enjoys.
Mississippi.
Really good. Y'all should try it. If y'all try it, let me know in the comments. Bye. Me, my loves, y'all.
I'll do it just for her, man.
Yeah, she's adorable,
What a
right?
sweetheart.
And again, she's like literally only like not even 40. I mean, maybe she's
Like
40.
25.
She does like surprisingly young, but again, Mississippi Mima standards, that makes sense.
They look like tiny little alligators coming out of a swamp too. That's even more south.
Now, not everyone agrees that, you know, it's such a common thing at Sonic where people don't flinch. Now, in Mississippi, maybe, but there was someone who commented that they have worked at Sonic for over 20 years and have never gotten a customer that had ordered a pickle Dr. Pepper. But I mean, literally speaking, is it literally speaking? No. But the alliteration on that is perfect. I want a pickle Dr. Pepper, right? Put some pepper, put some pickles in your body. It's a tongue twister.
It's catchy.
Yeah. So you know, as far as the comments on this video, it's called the Dr. Pepper Pucker. Ask for it. Oh, okay. And then not sure about the pickle Dr. Pepper, but order in the app, and it's always you know.
Well, I know the pickleback shots have taken off a lot.
Yeah, I mean, pickleback. That's a pickleback shot is when you're drinking pickle juice after you take a shot, and it makes the shot super smooth. For sure, and it also gives you some sodium. So there's some science behind it. So
You're the pickle, dude.
Apparently so. A pickle Dr. Pepper. I know that with Dr. Pepper, you put a lot of different flavors in it. You can go to any one of those kind of soda machines where you can mix and match and remix your soda, and you'll see the Dr. Pepper tab has like 100 different options.
Yeah.
Pickle
Vanilla,
juice,
cherry.
not one of them yet. But it looks like, you know, if it's up to Mississippi Mima, that will definitely be an option coming to your soda remix machine soon. But I'll keep an eye on Mississippi Mima for any kind of other updates and stuff because I sense an internet celebrity in the works.
Get her on
here.
the podcast.
Yeah, I will. I'll reach out to her. I'll slide in her DMs and I'll probably have like 3 of her like baby's daddies come at me and be like, why are you hitting on my old lady, Mississippi Mima?
Mima don't want none.
All right, well, let's hit the reset. We got more Beef Vegan Presents coming up after music. Yeah, we love some Mississippi Mima.
I love her.
Yeah, maybe we will get her on the podcast. That is something to reach out to. And she is one of those viral celebrities, just the way that her tone is. That Southern charm.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a proven formula. If you have an enduring accent, like a tagline, you're in the money.
You got to be careful, though, of who you fall in love with on the internet because you don't know who they are as a person. Because she is very convincing in the way that she presents things, but she is from Mississippi. So she could be like, y'all need to go shoot up a school right now. Like, oh.
Mima.
Mima.
Come on.
You're so sweet. You make me want to do it.
Oh, please don't make Mima mad. Do what I say.
All right, let's get on the air here. We got 2 seconds. That's Marilyn Manson on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents, the podcast broadcast. So we are live. You're going to be able to see this video. But first, men, we're doing a disservice to our women out there because we're not making them feel safe. And the perfect example of this is this latest viral video trend based off of Man on the Street video. He went up to random women on the street and asked a very simple question. That question was, would you rather be alone in the woods with a bear or a man? Now, Mario always hits us with these hypotheticals all the time. We, answer them with the would you rathers. This was an odd one because it seems like an obvious answer, because bears are terrifyingly dangerous.
I've heard.
Yes. And that's for men. But for women, they're like, I don't know, man. You guys are pretty goddamn dangerous yourself, right? So if you search for TikTok, you'll find this, but I'll share the video with you right now so you can hear their answers. And it is surprising. All right. So here it is. The question was asked, would you rather be stuck in the forest with a man or a bear?
Would you rather be stuck in a forest with a man or a bear?
Bear. Man is scary. With a bear.
Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? Unless you fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
There you go. So one woman.
How
said,
silly.
Man, I know. And that's unfortunate. It's very sad because, actually, we put together the stats, man versus bear. Here's some stats to share with you real quick. That is very factual. Now we're talking about a brown bear. Okay. So brown bear is up to 9 feet tall standing. Okay. With that, you see the graph right here on the podcast broadcast, up to 1,300 pounds. All right. The claws are up to 4 inches. Bite force, 1,200 PSI. Right. The pelt fur is up to 5 inches. So if you try to scratch them, there's a good chance you're not even going to be able to scratch that bear. The bear's not going to feel it. And if you try to run away, well, a bear's speed is up to 35 miles per hour, as opposed to Kyle, this man who stands at 5'10", which obviously you're not going to swipe right on because he's under 6 foot.
Gross.
Yep. 174 pounds. He's a project engineer. And his worst offense is that he says hi to you at the gym.
Ugh,
you creep, Kyle.
gross.
Yeah. But during that pick, when you see the stats line up, like if it's a UFC battle, bear versus man, who do you think's going to take this? Who are you betting on FanDuel for?
Kyle. Underdog, baby.
No, well,
no, the bear.
Yeah, this is why you don't do good on those betting apps.
One of these days, baby. One of these days.
Now, Rico, if you're still on the fence as to who's more dangerous in the woods, a man versus a bear, Rico actually put together videos not safe for the radio airwaves, but we will share it with you on the podcast broadcast stream that gives you a definitive answer of which one it would be the safer option. You could join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. We got more coming up after music from the Red Hot Chili Peppers on Rock 102.1. It's funny that we said Red Hot Chili Peppers because we had a comment on Facebook. I'll share with you here in a minute. But
trolling the troll, baby.
Here is the video, man versus bear, that Rico posted on Instagram last night. It's brilliant. Check this out.
That thing on the internet going around recently where girls say they feel safer being trapped alone in a forest with a bear over a man. Can you believe that?
Did you know that Indian boys used to run up to the bear and slap him?
Wild bear over a guy. It's crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna kill the bear.
What?
Say it, I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it. I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it. Say I'm gonna kill the bear. Say it.
I'm gonna kill the bear.
Say it again.
I'm gonna kill the bear.
And again.
I'm gonna kill the bear.
Good. Blood.
Wait, what?
Today, I'm gonna kill the motherfucker.
There you go. So the answer,
Sir Anthony.
yeah, the answer is much rather the man. I know the man, he can be dangerous. There's many dangerous men, but no man's more dangerous than a bear.
Yeah.
So hopefully that helped all you ladies out there
Just saying.
debating that question.
I love dude. It's just like so funny because like it's one of those stupid internet things that come around, causes a fervor, and then it posits a legitimate conversation which shouldn't even take place because it's like, you big dummy. Like imagine a hippie girl going like, I'll choose a bear, and then going up to a brown or grizzly bear, any black bear, doesn't matter,
Right.
and starting to pet it like you're so nice, and then gets mauled.
Yep.
You're like, okay, that didn't work out too good. But it's just a demoralization tactic. It's just another way to put down men in general. It's an emotional hit. It is.
All right.
They come up to the street like another man-hating thing. They're like, yeah, let's just hate men again. I choose the bear.
Well,
They don't really mean it. But legitimately, they had a choice between like two doorways, like go in the forest with the bear or Kyle. Just like, I guess Kyle's cool. Whatever.
Kyle doesn't seem
Whatever.
as threatening. That's for sure.
It's silly.
But
It's all silly.
I do understand the argument, but yeah, the bear again is gonna maul you, kill you, eat you. And Kyle will
I'll try not to make eye contact too much.
yeah. I mean, Kyle could still do some pretty effed up things, but and then he might even eat you too. There's a small percentage of Kyles out there that would actually eat you as well.
Cannibal Kyle.
But at the end of the day, I would say a majority of men would be protective and safer and not be all, part of it is the docuseries on all the streaming services, all the murder porn.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah. And it is terrifying to be a woman in society, period. I get it. And Dave Chappelle, he summed it up for me that made me understand what it feels like to be a woman consistently all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And this was he said in one of his comedy specials that one time when he was younger and he started blowing up, he got paid like 10 grand and he put it in his backpack, and he was still around DC in the Washington DC area. And he was walking around DC in his backpack with 10 grand. And he was paranoid and scared that someone would find out that he had 10 grand in his backpack and then rob him or beat him up and shit. Right. He's like, that's what women feel like all the time. Because, you're living in a world where these men are bigger, scarier. They're staring at you like, what you got? Right. And, like that potential of always potentially becoming a victim, because you don't know these strangers and the circumstances around it. It was the same way for Dave Chappelle being a grown ass man walking in a scary neighborhood with 10 grand, being like, he's a mark. And I want to beat the shit out of him and rob him. Right. So that's how he put it, where I was like, hey, that makes sense. You're a big, strong man, dude. You work out of the gym all the time. And so, you're not going to, when you're walking down the street, you're not going to assume that somebody's going to jump you from behind.
Still do. Yeah, there's still a danger element because it doesn't matter how big you are. People still have knives and guns. People are so crazy out there. It's getting worse. It feels like
in this town. I mean, have you seen the latest takeover video from TMZ Tucson? Yeah. That was.
But in general, I mean, yeah, that's obviously an element that can't be disregarded entirely. You can invalidate that, but everybody's a potential threat. Everyone, no matter what. Sure. And it gets to a point where that pendulum swings so far where it's like that cultural ethos, that thought that's out there for every woman is like, all men are bad. Like they're dangerous. Right. They're bad. It's like that becomes really poisonous to the point where every man just feels like nobody cares about us anymore.
Yeah.
We don't even, why try to be a good person in society if we're just going to be, berated and downplayed forever?
Yeah, generalized thinking and grouping people in is obviously dangerous in any way that you look at it, and obviously not accurate. So it's unfair.
It's a balance, man. It's character.
Yeah,
it's like you have to have a good character.
Because I have not, me being an individual man, have not beat, murdered, kidnapped, any of the bad things in the world that's been documentaries on Netflix have not done to a woman or a man. or an animal. You can only go on the record, any living thing. I've not done these kind of things. So I'm not wired one of those people. Unfortunately, there's a very small percentage of people that are, and women too.
It reminds me too, there was this video that was online that went viral, I think a couple weeks ago, about a girl. I forget what college campus it was, but a guy with a gun approached this girl on a college campus. And like she literally like wrestled out of the guy's hand, like declipped it or took the slider off.
Yeah.
And threw it in the bushes, and the cops came afterwards. But during that video, the entire time, it's like this campus, like nice grassy area. There's this guy, a Kyle, just sitting on the ground watching it go down.
Yeah.
Literally just sitting there, not even getting up to be like, hey man, leave her alone. Nothing. It was just one of those things that posits that question, like what was going through his head? Was he A, in panic mode, or was he B, like, why even defend a woman anymore? He's just like, you know what?
Some people may have,
but then the comments were like, dude, like, what's that man? He's not a real man. Get out there, help him, defend her. You know what I mean? So it's like one of those things. It's that cultural back and forth where it's like, if you're going to be a real man, defend the woman. The other one's like, well, women hate men. Let her fend for herself. And it's kind of sad to get to that point.
Yeah. Not every man's Jean-Claude Van Damme, right? That's going to come in and do that. Some people have possum DNA. Where, you know, in terrifying situations, they just freeze, right? And this probably
I think he was just eating Cheetos the whole time, too. It wasn't even like flinching.
Did he not stop eating Cheetos?
I think he just kept eating. He was just staring. Just like,
Can you find that video? I'm like, now I got to see it. I mean, if this dude is, Anthony said, I'm here for the Man Haters Club. All right, nice. All right, this shit is just fucking stupid. That's fair, too. All right.
Is the dress gold or blue?
That's another thing, right? Speaking of which, I do have. All right, so let me reset. We got more coming up, and there's us. Oh, here's a fun video that'd be a good palate cleanser, and that is the this is what rock stars would sound like if they were everyday items. Somebody put together this little video. So like a forklift and different rock stars, they just kind of matched up rock stars with items and gave you an example. Check this out. It's Robert Plant has a forklift. Kurt Cobain has a coffee maker.
Bop, bop, bop. City bop, 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 baby, let's see, how my baby, let's see, bop, city bop.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Up. There you go. All right. Earlier this morning, we went into our morning. Check it out. If it made 6:17 in time for your morning moron, let's do this. All right. Here's a rule when committing thefts: never attempt to return stolen items for a double dip. That good old double dip there, Rico. A 39-year-old woman in Pennsylvania is learning this out the hard way as she was caught in a bizarre scheme where she'd steal from convenience stores by using self-checkout and not ringing up the items, right? For example, she'd scan and pay for a beverage and then steal a couple of sandwiches, which she'd just slip into a bag. It's called grazing. It's a thing, but she got a little greedy with it. And then, or she'd pay for like 2 containers of milk and steal 2 stuffed animal toys. Right. And then grab 8 bags of artisan coffee, but only scan 4 of them and leave. Right. So she's giving herself her own discounts, which a lot of people have been doing with these self-checkouts. It doesn't make it right. But at the same time, you know, it's the argument to say to grocery stores and major chains like Walmart, maybe you should continue to hire cashiers.
That might be a start.
Yeah, because if you try to eliminate the overhead of, you know, having employees and helping people make a living wage, then the consumer just might rob you blind.
But at least they'll leave a tip on the machine.
No, they won't. Now, okay, so here's the kicker, and the reason why she's a morning moron. It's not just because of the grazing or the self-discount she was giving herself. She'd later come back and try to return all of the items that she stole and get cash in exchange. Yeah, now it's unclear how that part would work if she didn't have everything listed on the receipt. Now, I'll give you an example. There was some parts where it's like, okay, that would make sense if she was like, she paid for 4 artisan bags of coffee, right? But stole 8. And then tried to return the 4, had to receipt for the 4 that she paid for. Then essentially she got 4 free and she got paid for those 4.
Are you telling me she didn't think this through?
No, I mean, she didn't consult with me. I should be a thief consultant, a criminal consultant.
Go through me first.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, wait a second. I can see how this would work. But she didn't do that. The combined loss from her known thefts are about $210. Oh, and I should say, don't do what I just mentioned on the air for legal purposes. Idiot.
Don't do it.
Yeah. I just came up with a brilliant way of like, oh, no, don't do that. Oh. No, Arizona Lowe's not responsible for things that come out of my mouth. She's been charged with 3 felony counts, each of retail theft and theft by deception. So keep in mind, if you attempt to do any of this stuff, it comes with serious charges, including the 3 felony counts that this woman is facing. And that comes with some serious jail time. So for all those reasons and more, this 39-year-old woman who didn't consult with me is a morning moron. All right, so that was morning moron. Now, here's the video that Rico was talking about, the guy who froze and just basically watched the mugging that happened, which is pretty interesting. And again, he's got possum blood. That's what I would call it.
Possum.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you got that possum
The fact
blood.
this girl was able to like actually grab his gun and disarm him was pretty insane.
Yeah. Is there audio to this
Lord,
too?
I don't think.
All right, let's.
It's just like security footage or something.
Yeah. All right, so no audio on. You see her walking. Guy comes up. He's like, "Give me that," and she's like, "No." You know, and this was apparently recent because he's wearing a mask.
Grab the gun. Boom.
Grabs the gun. Yeah, takes away. Guy's just sitting right there. Like puts his hands underneath his legs. He's almost like literally sitting on his hands. Just kind of frozen. And she's scrambling.
It's angering watching that. You're just like, dude.
Yeah, and well, again, I mean, not everyone has that in them to step up and in a very
the bystander effect is a thing for a reason.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
Just like,
all right, let me blow your mind now. You could cheat without even cheating now. There's another term here.
Emotional cheating.
It's called micro cheating.
Oh, of course.
I'm gonna educate you,
please.
Here we go. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA SP Vegan presents. We've been covering a lot today. So let me give you some more food for thought here. It's called micro cheating, the latest internet dating term, and you may be guilty of it. So I'm going to give you some examples of what's considered micro cheating, and you basically answer to yourself if you've done these things. And maybe I feel like I've been in situations in the past where I definitely have micro cheated. All right. So these are actions that can be viewed as micro cheating. Okay. First one, taking sneaky looks at dating apps to see whether the grass might be greener. Little micro cheating action here. Now, you know, there's people, I'll admit, in unhappy part of the tail end of a relationship, you definitely like create a burner account and take a little peek, like what's out there, right? And that's micro cheating. That's cheating before you even do the official breakup, even if the writing's on the wall.
Right.
Yeah. Have you taken a peek of any dating apps in the past couple of years, Rico?
No.
Yeah, you're staying away from those, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Why not?
Many reasons.
Okay.
Just
what's one
That's a whole
reason?
podcast.
All right.
It's a whole podcast.
All right. Okay. So here's another example of micro cheating: sending flirty messages to an acquaintance without your partner knowing it. Now, I actually I caught a girl I was in a relationship with doing just this.
Yikes.
Yeah, and it was a micro cheat. I'll even add to the list. Where you engage with them on social media, say Instagram, more so they're the first thing that you see in the stories every single time, because that's how Instagram works. The stories and the pages you engage with the most, you're going to see those first on your little story thread. So to see if your partner may be talking to somebody else or have feeling for somebody else,
look at the hierarchy.
Yeah, have them open up their Instagram and look at the top and see who the first person is.
That's your beef
first
today.
person is named John with a long dong, then you guys might need to have a serious conversation.
Yeah. You know what's funny? It's like, yeah, with the social media thing too, there's like different levels. And it sounds like a lot of this might be emotional cheating, what people call it.
Yeah.
But I had a friend of mine who got cheated, like micro cheated, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
His girlfriend was talking to a guy on Words with Friends.
Yes.
Like one of those apps, not even like a social media, like a game app.
Yeah, but I've literally come across a story of a salacious affair that was all around Words with Friends, because you can chat with people. And yes, the people have met significant others and affairs through those kind of apps.
At least you can see how smart they are, kind of. So
yeah, it's true. That's true. Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Yeah. All right. Fudging the truth about your relationship status or downplaying its level of seriousness to others, obviously, is a micro cheating thing. And they say doing anything that you feel the need to be secretive about because you know you'd be in trouble if it became known. That should be obvious, but that is a sign of micro cheating. According to relationship expert Susan Winter, these things might not be full-on cheating, and they could be a gateway drug someone might use to test the waters in order to see if they can get away with it. And the bottom line, simple. If you wouldn't be thrilled to find out your partner was doing it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it either. All right, so let's hit the reset. That's not even your beef tip, but yeah, I have a fun beef tip to share with you right after these words. You keep it right here. Join us, youtube.com/beefvegan. Let's see
what's on that topic. It always fascinates me too, because you talk to grandparents or previous generations that didn't have the internet,
right?
With the dating dynamic, and it's like humans are going to be human. People are going to look. People are going to have feelings. You know, we're sexual animals, but at the same time, Grandpa didn't have his bequeathed his love with the potential of talking to a guy in a different country or a different city that had a six-pack and more money.
Right.
Like the instant access.
Yeah.
Is a funny thing to look at.
No, he had to go down to the red light district like everyone else.
Spend some time, money, and sweat.
Yep. I know.
The
different times. The good old days, if you will. Now, we didn't get to, eventually I want to talk about, well, I probably won't. It will be old news, but Drake and Kendrick Lamar continue to trend on top of the.
Keeping on top of that?
I listened to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to everything. And, the GIFs and the memes are hilarious on this. So Drake is the number 2 trending here. So let's just look at some of these GIFs and memes just talking about this feud. Now, if you're not caught up with what's happening on
apparently Drake just had some people arrested in front of his mansion, or there was a shootout that just happened today.
Really?
Yeah.
Today? Is that why?
A couple hours ago, I just saw breaking news about like some shootout that happened at Drake's mansion.
Maybe that's why he's trending right now. Now, okay, so part of this Kendrick Lamar Drake beef is they've been releasing songs about each other, and then with the songs, they're releasing it straight to YouTube, and they have basically just one image. Some of them are kind of like videos, little makeshift videos. The one of Kendrick Lamar's diss songs against Drake was a Google image of Drake's house and address. And so now there was a shooting in front of his house. If that's anywhere related, then shit's getting real and not really great. So here's some of the gifts that Twitter's been going. Now there was a troll or a mole, I should say, in Drake's camp. Now Drake knew this and fed the mole information, which got back to Kendrick Lamar, and Kendrick used it in a song.
This is turning into Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and used it in a song and basically clowned him. But it went back. This is a gift that.
Hi. Monster on the beat, ho, Debo, any rap nigga, he a freak throw, man down, call out Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro, nail a nigga to the cross, he walk around like
that's him.
What's up with these jabroni ass niggas, Compton, the industry can.
I did not even see that part in Ted. All right, so Drake, when he heard someone's out of his house, yelling A minor, that was a line that
I love it.
Yeah, have you listened to any of these songs?
Yeah. I think that was the last one I heard, and then they're like, I was at work and like, oh, another one dropped. It's like you have to have like literally an update on your phone, like an app that keeps track.
It is dropping nonstop. Drake last night when he caught one of his boys hitting a 2-step, like not like us.
I got a hot take though.
Yeah, okay. What's your hot take?
I think that none of these are as good as Eminem versus MGK.
That is a hot take.
That drop was great.
And trust me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed both those, and I do like battle raps in general.
We begin with breaking news. Developing story out of Toronto. There's currently a large police presence outside of the home of Drake after reports of an overnight shooting in the area. Here's a live look at the scene now. This is outside of 21 Park Lane Circle in North York, well known to be the home of the Toronto-born rapper. Details are still very limited, but police have confirmed to City News that the person injured is not Drake. Officers responded to the shooting around 2 this morning. One person...
They said Park Lane Circle, right? Park Lane Circle. This was the image of the video that Kendrick Lamar released.
Damn.
Yes. So, you know.
Yikes.
Yep. Yeah. So
unless it's all manufactured to sell more albums.
Well, initially you would say the beef could be a manufacturer to sell more albums, right? And that's great. Great for the music industry, great for the audience. I wasn't opposed to that, but you know, this is getting pretty bad. Like if there's a shooting right off the bat, that's going to tie back directly to
they're bringing the 90s back, man. They're bringing like
but remember how it ended? We don't have any of our favorite rappers from the 90s because of it.
I know.
You know, so now we have AI Tupac is the best we can do, and AI Tupac's putting out some fire
until he comes back.
Okay, it's AI, dude. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying until he comes back to make more music.
Oh yeah.
He's hiding.
Yeah, it's well, those videos and the videos and the songs are really good though. Honestly, just for the sake of the entertainment value and the tea and the digs they're taking against each other. You know, it seems very personal and jaw-dropping, like, what? Yeah, so
it's like this war is taken away from the like actual wars going on in Ukraine, Palestine, Israel, all that stuff.
That's
like,
true.
I'll pay attention to this war more right now.
This
is more fun.
All right, well, we're almost out of time. I'm going to give you guys a beef tip, but thank you guys for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like and do all that good YouTube stuff. Great show today, Rico. Thank you very much for that. All right, we are all out of time, unfortunately. Tomorrow morning, we'll continue to give away tickets for Falling in Reverse. Robin Nash has your Slipknot tickets she'll be giving away, and so does Razor. So just keep listening all day for to KFMA for your chance to win some tickets. Now, before I leave you, I want to give you a beef tip. Apparently, we've been brushing our teeth all wrong. We've been rinsing after we get our toothpaste in. And according to a scientist, we shouldn't do that. If we actually don't rinse, it'll help the fluoride work longer and more in your mouth to keep it fresh, kill all those germs.
Really?
Yes.
Sounds like something Big Fluoride would say.
Yeah, I don't know about that. So Dr. Edmund Hewlett is a professor at UCLA and not associated with Big Fluoride. I double checked. In addition to that, he also recommended that you floss before brushing your teeth rather than after. So you do those two things, you'll have a better dental game.
Whoa.
And, yep, that's your beef tip. Thank you guys for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When
Look at Manny. Already knew that.
Beef,
look at the big brain on Manny.
Sucking
Sucking on that fluoride. He's probably talking about something else, actually.
I will knock out all your teeth.
Babuski.